wait, fuck. Hey guys, today we'll be back to top 5 mothman caught on video and spotted in real life. So if you want to see it for yourself, go check out that 5. I don't know how to do links, so you have to do it yourself. Sorry about that, but that's how it is. So with that being said, let's get right to the video.
Mothman is a legendary paranormal creature that was popularized by a rash of sightings in the years leading up to the unexpected collapse of the Silver Bridge in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. These aren't the only ones we know about either. In 2015, a video surfaced that suggested Mothman even inhabits parts of Argentina. This was later found to be a hoax perpetuated by locals looking for their 15 minutes of fame, so we decided to find 5 Mothmen caught on camera and spotted in real life to present you with all the facts. Let's begin. Number 5. Point Pleasant Silver Bridge Collapse. This event that took place in 1967 solidified Point Pleasant as a well-known Mothman habitat. In the few years prior to this enormous event, Mothman sightings had been reported, with one man suggesting that the creature had probably killed his dog after being chased off his property by the unfortunate pup. Whether or not that account is true, the Mothman that was seen around the bridge right before it was collapsed was confirmed to be legitimate by dozens of witnesses. The bridge collapsed during rush hour traffic and was an incredibly tragic accident. 46 people lost their lives when they were plunged into the river below, along with tons of metal and concrete. When the cause of the bridge collapse was investigated, it was found that the entire failure was caused by a single weak blink. Amazingly, the constant Mothman sightings that locals had been reporting in huge numbers suddenly stopped after the bridge failed, with none seen in the area for the next couple of decades. This fact was not lost on those who witnessed the event, who said at the time that the failure could not have been mere coincidence. This led many more to believe that the Mothmen were either bringers of doom, with misery following their every move, or sympathetic beings trying to warn us of imminent danger.
I fucking find Mothman really fucking creepy. I didn't hear him about now. And, well, fuck is... I find this actually scary. And so is the Grinning Man, which I found out about. So, next video, I hope, will be Grinning Man. So, let's continue.
Fueling the legend behind their mysterious appearances. Many people have had run-ins and close encounters with these creatures, but they have never been known to kill a person, which suggests that they are probably benevolent protectors just trying to give us a heads up when something's about to go awry. Number 4. I-35W Bridge Collapse. It seems that these creatures seem to have a soft spot for bridge disasters. Possibly it's because they feel more in their element when it comes to structures that have a little height to them. We're talking about a winged creature here. Whatever the reason, many people had reported seeing a mysterious and strange bird in the area of the bridge in the month leading up to the collapse. When the bridge gave way, it broke apart right in the middle, making it a very serious disaster. Much like the Silver Bridge collapse in '67, this incident took place during rush hour traffic. 13 people died, and a total of 145 people were seriously injured in the fall. As always, skeptics argued that it was probably a crane that people had seen. Everyone who saw the creature says that there's absolutely no denying what it was. The enormous creature had very human characteristics, and the fact that so many sightings preceded such a tragic catastrophe is a clear sign that paranormal forces were at work. Furthermore, this follows suit with what we have begun to learn about Mothman sightings, namely that these creatures may not be malicious or evil, but instead try to warn us away from imminent danger. Until more people take these sightings seriously, many preventable disasters are likely to be overlooked. It was said that nobody could have predicted that the I-35W bridge would collapse in such a spectacular fashion, but we're sure that the Mothman seen in the month leading up to it was desperately trying to warn us. The main problem with people today is that we're no longer in touch with the paranormal or mysterious happenings around the globe. Since we're so out of touch with these things, We are effectively blinded to the signs that are literally right in front of our eyes, more willing instead to dismiss outright the existence of such fantastic creatures.
Creepy.
Number 3. West Virginia State Route 2 sighting. This sighting in West Virginia occurred in 2016 when a man spotted something strange darting from tree to tree on the side of the road. The photographer did not give his name, but said that he was driving home on State Route 2 when he noticed the strange sight. He was aware of the stories of the Mothman, but said he hadn't given it much thought before then. He realized right away that this creature was too large to be a heron or other such bird. The man captured some pretty amazing shots, assuming this is a Mothman and not just a camera trick. Experts have looked over the photos and say that they haven't been doctored. Many suggested that it was probably a heron, but admitted that they had their doubts. The size...
A very, very small loan from my father.
You gotta start somewhere.
God damn it.
And position of the creature don't line up with what we know about the form of birds in flight. We can also clearly see that the head and legs aren't bird-like at all. In fact, it looks more like a human in a wingsuit, except for the fact that it was able to fly upwards as well as gliding. Even the world's most impressive jetpack technology is nowhere near that good yet, and would have made a hell of a lot of racket. And all this is forgetting the fact that gliders, wingsuit experts, and jetpack users would all be very aware of the inherent dangers of flitting around trees. Basically, that's a no-no. That really narrows down the list of what this thing could possibly be. We're convinced that this case at least deserves a thorough investigation. The area is famous for its previous Mothman sightings, although they've been less numerous in recent decades, and we do know that the creature is known to prefer the woodlands if it can help it. Perhaps human encroachment on their habitat is forcing these mythical beasts into the open more often than they'd like. Either way, we hope that this sighting wasn't the premonition of some terrible disaster yet to happen. Given that it happened last year, we think that we're probably in the clear, for now. Then again, quite a large number of sightings have preceded their apparent disasters by months, so it could be that this entity was just a little more ahead of the game than most. Number 2. New York Backyard Close Call. This footage was supposedly captured in 2011 in Comac, New York. The kid who posted the video said that he was playing with his friend in his backyard when the two of them suddenly noticed a strange figure watching them from high up in a tree. I think panic would be a good word to describe the emotion that he probably felt. The creature was said to have piercing red eyes and remained motionless for a second or two before swooping down towards the boys. One managed to get his iPod out to take a picture just as his friend took off running. The running boy was close to the back porch of his friend's house, and he seemed convinced that he could make it to safety. Interestingly, the boys say that the creature, which looks unmistakably like a Mothman, actually flew directly towards his friend in the manner that an eagle would descend on its prey. Given what we know about the history of Mothman, this seems out of character. It could be that the boys mistook an attempt to help as an attack. What we do know is that they both claimed a running kid ducked at the last second, narrowly missing being struck. We don't doubt that this was potentially a proper Mothman sighting, but the facts do seem a little off. Some people throughout history have been terrified of anything mysterious or unexplainable, even when they're being helped. It's in our nature to fear the unknown, after all, and it is very much a basic survival instinct. We haven't yet heard of any deaths attributed directly to the Mothman, although another set of witnesses have also claimed that they were the victims of an unnervingly close flyby, with two couples being chased down Highway 62 back in 1966. Again, nobody was hurt, but the entire group was quite visibly shaken when they gave their report to the police. One of the women involved, Linda Scarberry, said that it stood about 7 feet tall, but couldn't guess its wingspan because it had both folded behind its back. She also noted fiery red eyes that seemed to burn with intensity, and that the creature was muscle-bound almost from head to toe. Not many people have been able to give such a detailed account, as Mothmen do seem to be shy. This unexplained behavior could be due to any number of reasons, but it is telling that nobody has yet been hurt during any face-to-face encounter. Number 1. Chernobyl Disaster Mystery Figure. Now, this last one is really freaky. Given that the Russian government is so secretive, it comes as no surprise that this story was almost buried completely. It turns out that locals residing in the area surrounding the town of Chernobyl were sworn to silence on pain of death about the events leading up to the now infamous meltdown. Evidently, Authorities didn't want the word to get out that they could have prevented such a horrible loss of human life, as well as untold suffering spanning generations. What we have learned is that a creature that fits the Mothman's description perfectly was repeatedly spotted flying over the town and around the plant in the weeks leading up to the disaster. Those who saw it quickly dubbed it the Black Bird of Chernobyl, and residents made numerous complaints and reports regarding this creature. What makes this tale even more strange is that the government actually seemed to be aware of what was going on, but insisted it was no big deal. In fact, people were threatened and harassed with strange phone calls that repeatedly insisted that they were liars and would be punished. It is clear that there was a purposeful cover-up going on before the nuclear plant actually failed, although the full reach might be forgotten forever by now. With so many reports, why did the government refuse to investigate this matter any further? Additionally, why were those who tried to raise the alarm so immediately and viciously silenced? As with most things that happened before the Iron Curtain at the time, we'll probably never know the answers to these questions. What is clear is that these leaks prove that the Mothman really is a global phenomenon. It's also worth considering that while their habitat is known to be in and around the Americas, the space available to them is rapidly shrinking. Perhaps they're simply migrating to avoid detection, which would explain their resurgence in recent years. Another theory is that the Mothman originated in and around Eastern Europe, with some finding their way across an ancient glacial land bridge that once connected the two continents. If the Mothman is really a protector of humankind, it wouldn't be too far of a stretch to assume that they would have followed us to the New World all that time ago. In fact, it could theoretically be possible that they actively helped our ancestors back then to a degree that we couldn't even begin to think possible today. And there, you have 5 Mothman caught on camera and
Alright guys, that would be the end of the video. So I hope you enjoyed, and see you later.